What's up, you guys? Sean Ross Sapp. We're here live for the Elimination Chamber post-show review. Several hours removed from it. The show started at really like 4:30 a.m. Eastern, which as I heard that the show started like at 6:30 p.m. Australian time, I was like, well, they could have probably figured out a better time. 7 a.m. Eastern probably would have made a little more sense, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. If you're here, leave a thumbs up on this video. We're here to talk WWE Elimination Chamber 2024. We have some exclusive news from FightfulSelect.com about what we reported didn't happen on this show. We'll be talking about that shortly. A reminder, FightfulSelect.com is where you can get the most exclusive news by volume and by accuracy in wrestling. History, period. We're so proud of that. In addition, dozens of podcasts a month, hundreds of archived podcasts, and now we have the Fightful Select Discord. If you are sick of Facebook or Twitter or whatever, and you want to be in a troll-free environment, Fightful Select Discord is there. You can match that up with your Fightful Select subscription. It's a good time over there. We're going to expand to some sports channels and stuff like that as well. But while you're here, leave a thumbs up. A couple of things that I want to kind of put out there, promote. We are promoting our audio platforms a lot more now. We will always be a live first platform, obviously, but we are on Amazon, we're on Apple, we're on Spotify, we're on all those. And right now I'm doing a giveaway, one of many we're going to do this week. But you can win a free viewing of AEW Revolution. How to enter? You subscribe to us on any audio platform. You retweet my post that is on, really, it's at the top of my Twitter right now, outside of my pin post. And you can comment a favorite Sting moment as well. I want to thank betonline.eu. They help make a lot of these giveaways possible. I'll be telling you about them lately or shortly, because they were right on the money with all of their Elimination Chamber odds. Like every single one of them was right and by a long way. Also, comment on these videos. Any videos that we have, whether they be interviews, the like. I know that we are a smorgasbord of live features and interviews, but we want you to be able to come to one or two places between here and Fightful Overbooked. And we have never done more interviews than what we are doing in 2024. I think we're probably going to have over 365 interviews in 2024, which is wild because I never thought we would have more interviews than there are days in the month. This week, we had the return of Anna, who many of you, if you are longtime Fightful viewers, you knew Anna. And she came back. She actually performed in wrestling for a brief period, but came back, was able to do some great interviews in her hometown of Perth this week. Becky Lynch, Nia Jax, Seth Rollins, Bianca Belair, Kevin Owens, Tiffany Stratton. She talked about Love Island, Australia with Stratton. She had Kevin Owens take an Australian citizenship test. Bianca Belair aced her Australian trivia. She had Seth Rollins breaking down Australian fashion and lingo. Me and Anna and Nia helped spread some misinformation about Omos, which is always great. And Anna let Becky Lynch know that she loved her, which is always great. Check those out. Those were just really, really good. We also have the first interview with the grizzled young vets since they left the WWE. We got Jake something, Montez Ford, Akira Tozawa. We have a new series called Crime in Combat. Man, we're going nuts here. We got a video editor that named Rob, who's been doing incredible work for us and with us, which makes me very happy. We've also got, for some reason, this video of the TNA locker room addressing the crowd ahead of No Surrender did 100,000 views. Insane. And I want to welcome everybody who just came over from Grapsity. A reminder, you can get your questions or statements on the air by donating a super chat here at youtube.com/Fightful. But if you're watching on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, the likes, you can go to humperchats.com. That's HUMPER chats.com. We would greatly appreciate it. We are very much publicly funded, but we got the help of a couple of sponsors as well, and I'll let you hear from one before we get into this review. There is no product that we have promoted more on Fightful that I use while I'm awake than nordvpn.com/Fightful. You guys have probably seen me anchored to my desk an awful lot for quite a while, and I've always got NordVPN on all my devices. That's because that's what nordvpn.com/Fightful allows. You get the fastest VPN in the world on all your devices, on all your operating systems. It is so beneficial to have that versatility. Here at home, I put it on my router just in case, and I put it on my phone, laptop, desktop, PC, and smart TV. That allows you to get all the benefits. The online threat protection, the ability to change your virtual location with just one click, the ability to use that NordPass password manager, the file encryption tool, all that good stuff on everything. Also, you can subscribe to all those overseas services I'm telling you all about, all with 24/7 tech support and a 30-day money-back guarantee on top of an already amazing deal. Protect yourself on all your devices with nordvpn.com/Fightful. Bagarov says Anna's interviews were amazing. She's a natural. Yes, I mean, she was an actress. It's funny, when I hired her, I was like, why does this woman look so familiar to me? And then I realized she had acted on an investigation discovery show that I had seen in the past. So I was like, okay, that makes an awful lot of sense. Get those super chats in. Get those humper chats in. We'd greatly appreciate it. So before this show, we broke news on FightfulSelect.com. This always shows you if you are a reply guy and I tweet something like, Bronson Reed was supposed to be on this show, and we've learned the full story as to what was going on. Don't hop in the replies and be like, yeah, he told us the full story. Well, no, as it turns out, he was booked for this show, but it was like a month and a half ago. He said a couple of days ago that his wife being pregnant is not why he wasn't on the show this weekend. However, it's a good thing that he wasn't on the show because his wife gave birth. Congratulations to Bronson Reed, to Jonah, now a father, but he was slated for this show as of like a month and a half ago until Seth Rollins' knee injury. Bronson Reed had cut a promo saying that a champion was going to be hunted down by him and they didn't even see it coming. Well, that was all a setup to have Bronson Reed face Seth Rollins at WWE Elimination Chamber in Perth. Now, I this is based on the information that I have. That is factual information. That was going to happen. 2 days ago, he said that that wasn't the reason why, or the pregnancy wasn't the reason why he didn't go over. But then he said today she gave birth early. That is such a happy accident, because I'm sure that getting a world title shot in your home country is, it'd be incredible, but you can do that at some other point. That can happen again. You can't ever re-witness the birth of your child. Unbelievable coincidence that all ended up being. That is, and we're never happy to see an injury or anything like that. But definitely glad that he was able to see the birth of his child. And man, just one of those things that you look at and you're like, well, okay, a bummer, but we're glad that he got that moment with his child, with his family, and hopefully, everything was safe. Oh man, I really, really enjoyed watching this show. Now, I didn't get up at 5 a.m. and watch it. I watched it at like 10 a.m. and I really enjoyed some morning wrestling, so to speak. It made me very, very happy to be able to just get up and sort of watch that. But before we get into that, Nelson says, actually, I think that one was for Grapsity. See, that's a funny thing. Some of the Humper chats ran into Grapsity there. So get your Humper chats in. But let's go ahead and talk about this show. Now, at the press event, which happened at 11 p.m. Eastern on Thursday, I was able to get like my little late night workout in while watching this press event, which was a lot of nothing really, but just something fun, some more value to give to Perth, Australia. They announced, oh, hey, by the way, the Kabuki Warriors are here. and Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell are getting a tag title shot on the kickoff. Well, I love that they did this. A nice ovation for Indy. But I noticed earlier this week, I was like, hey, Indy's here. Candice is here. Sending Indy there just to do media would have made sense, but sending Candice there as well, that didn't make a lot of sense until they got their tag title match. So that was planned as of earlier this week. The first thing that stood out to me was the production surrounding this venue. There was just incredible lighting initially because it was daytime. And of course, the white theme of the stadium as well, I think was such a good contrast from what we usually see, right? But there in this Elimination Chamber women's match, before we even get to that, there was this gorgeous shot from the stadium that shows the upper edge of the stadium and this skyline. Gorgeous, incredible. And I'm just sitting here like, where has this been? You know, I don't want to make this a Kevin Dunn podcast, but I tweeted earlier this week, in the last 2 months since he's been gone, there have been numerous times that I've said, man, this show is produced so much better. It looks so much better. It feels great. There have been 0 times when I've said, man, that could have used more Kevin Dunn, could have used more cuts, zooms, shakes. Everything feels fresh from a production standpoint. I think it's about to happen with AEW as well. Completely unrelated to Lee Fitting or Kevin Dunn, but they're about to get an overhaul as well. There were numerous times over the last 10 years that any number of us said, man, this Kevin Dunn production sucks. How many big moments did he miss? How many cool shots did he miss? How often were we talking about, man, this was an incredible camera shot of the scenery of the view since 2012. And I point specifically to when the Shield debuted because that's when Kevin Dunn got super cut, shake, zoom happy and started to focus a lot more on that than a lot of other things. Now there are these beautiful, incredible shots that make these WWE events feel like events as opposed to, here we are, here's another Raw. Ha, ha, ha. I think they're just doing great. Squared Circle Hub says, I know there was some word of Cleveland being the host city for SummerSlam, but nothing set in stone. Any word why the location hasn't been announced yet? Thank you for your hard work. Well, thank you for the super chat. I keep getting hit up by people in Cleveland that say they are being told by people that work for and at prominent venues that it's still going to happen there. What I have learned, and I really learned it around whenever Money in the Bank was in Vegas, if you remember, they went head-to-head with a big boxing match, and there was some jockeying and pivoting among some instrumental people in that company to perhaps move it. And I think they ended up moving the venue as opposed to the night, but until it's announced, it's never official, but Cleveland was the plan. Cleveland was the plan. So Indy gets a good ovation. They have a pretty simple match here that gets Indy on the card. I mean, you got the feeling she probably wasn't going to win it, although they could have switched that off onto Indy maybe if they wanted a moment or something like that. But that wasn't something I was particularly expecting. I had mentioned that I would have liked her in the Elimination Chamber. And I'll tell you this. I had pitched, oh, yeah, maybe she gets a win in the Elimination Chamber over Tiffany Stratton. After seeing how over Tiffany Stratton was tonight, I'm glad that didn't come to fruition. I was definitely wrong. Definitely wrong on that one. But Kabuki Warriors defeated Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell. It was a fine match. Candice got her home country moment, got to go back there for the first time in 5 years. I think the last match she had in Australia was against Steph DeLander in 2019. You know, it's wild. She is still only 27 years old, which is a baby in pro wrestling. So she was gone from Australia by like 21 or 22. Like she was already ready to head over to the States by then. It just incredible. I think she debuted or signed at 23. So yeah, she would have been maybe 22 or 20. Yeah, 22 when she left. But it's always good to see that. And this match served its purpose for sure. The Women's Elimination Chamber. I enjoyed the hell out of this match. So I thought that it got sort of it started off a little slow. By that, I mean, you had, I think it was Becky and Naomi starting off, and they did the spots where they would go pin, transition, arm drag. And I don't want to say it was clunky, because I mean, fights are supposed to look that way. But, there were some spots there, and I shouldn't have said slow either, that were just like a little bit of, I don't know, just maybe like a quarter of a step off. And then after that, to say it was smooth sailing would be an understatement. This is my favorite match on the show, I think. And that being said, there was a really, really great tag team match that followed this. Tiffany Stratton, I think even she was surprised how over she was. J.M. Melagredo says Stratton is amazing, but she should be kept heel. Yeah, I think so too. But Tiffany gets this incredible ovation and really delivered in this Elimination Chamber. Also, shout out to Jessica Carr, who is the first female ref to ref an Elimination Chamber. A couple of the spots that I noticed and liked. First off, told you all Liv was coming off the pod. Of course she was. But Tiffany doing it, and the Tiffy time thing is going to get over so well with the main roster audience. It is going to kill it with the main roster audience. Becky Lynch was bumping for everyone, bumping all over the place, just making everybody look as great as possible. Liv was very smart in this because she got booed for eliminating Tiffany Stratton, and she healed it up a little bit. That was such a smart thing for her to do because she read the room. She recognized it. She knew in that situation, when Monday rolls around, she's going to be a babyface again. And yeah, the reactions will probably go back to whatever it was for Tiffany. And it was the right move to do that. Ryan Lambert says, women again carried the PLE. Love to see it. They did great. Naomi being eliminated first. So Naomi was a person, along with Bianca Belair, maybe Jade Cargill, Kabuki Warriors, that I'm looking at. And I guess Liv Morgan, because we don't know what she's doing at Mania. And I was like, what the hell are they going to do at Mania? Well, Naomi got eliminated first. She lasted about 13 and a half minutes, but I feel like where and how people were eliminated is pretty indicative of their booking. Like Lashley got eliminated first as well, even though he was the fourth to enter. And Naomi got eliminated first. And I could see her competing like in a tag title match at WrestleMania. I don't know if they have any distinct plans for her, but that's something I'm interested in, because by the time the spring rolls around, I would really love to see Naomi integrated with the Bloodline storyline, because I think that she could have a stranglehold over the Jimmy Uso character. Because I mean, man, who's he going to listen to more than his wife? His uber successful, beautiful superstar wife that can take the stranglehold that Roman Reigns has off of it. So I'm hoping that happens. Man, Bianca really hossed up Raquel Rodriguez on that KOD and brooded her through that. Like, that was like some dead weight there. I think it was maybe just, I don't know if it was a miscommunication or if it's just a situation where Raquel doesn't have much say in it, right? She can make it easier, obviously, but Raquel, to come back from, I want to make sure that I get the name of it right. But I know that she had a flare up. She had posted about it on mast cell activation syndrome. It causes you to be red and swollen, keeps you from traveling, wrestling, going to the gym, and it flared up on the way over there. And you hate that because, man, you can tell by her history. She loves training. She loves working out. And that's something that she doesn't get to do a lot. And she did still get to do this match. And I thought she was fine in it. But that KOD, whew, boy, Bianca made sure that she went over there. Tiffany did get eliminated by Liv, as I mentioned. Bianca eliminated Raquel right there. Liv ended up getting more pins than anybody in this match with 2, and she got a big one by the way of Bianca Belair. So it's interesting what they do with Liv because of course, they've had her win the title before. They've had her win the Money in the Bank before, which is cool. But the feeling that I've always gotten, at least from her fans, is that they don't consider that really like her run yet. You know what I mean? And that's understandable because she won Money in the Bank, and that's cool as hell. But then that Ronda feud just wasn't it. That Ronda feud didn't work. And they've got perpetual hope that she's going to be in a major position. And she works her ass off. And she connects with the audience. And then when she doesn't connect with the audience, she does the very smart thing and trolls the audience. Very, very smart. Very smart of her to do that. But her beating Bianca Belair, pretty cool. Then Becky immediately picks up the win with the manhandle slam. I am so excited for Becky and Rhea. So excited for Becky and Rhea. This is a match that I've wanted for a long time, ever since they did that first tease. It is a WrestleMania main event quality match. I think Rhea and Bianca is as well down the line. But unfortunately, by the way that things look, maybe it won't be a WrestleMania main event match. But still, I saw somebody say, is Becky Lynch overpushed? Well, she's over, and that's the point. Woman is incredibly over. KE775 says, the way, based on how TV's been playing it out, I think Bianca versus Tiffany at Mania are in the build to Mania. Yeah, that could make sense. And if Tiffany keeps the reactions that she's been getting or the level of over in which she is, you can do that on WrestleMania. I want them to bring back the men's and women's Andre as well. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I think it's a perfect kickoff show match. Perfect kickoff show match. Yeah. Line Drive says, surreal how over Stratton is in Australia because NXT does not have a live broadcast there outside of Foxtel streaming and a pay 24-hour channel. She's over there despite barriers to access. Yeah. That reaction at the presser, the reaction at the event, the reaction to her getting eliminated. Unbelievable. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this match. I thought that it worked for everyone. Thought that it worked for everyone there. I'll tell you what else works for everyone. Our friends at BetOnline AG or BetOnline EU. Now, they've got the earliest lines that open before the competition. You can bet big with the high limits and rebet functionality, the fastest payouts, and the industry best bonuses for a company that's been around for 25 plus years. They're trusted by millions. They've got a great VIP rewards program and all the biggest markets, sports, entertainment, all that good stuff. Plus, they got tons of great games. You can play casino, blackjack, craps, roulette, keno, slots, video, poker, all kinds of stuff. You can even do Bitcoin gambling at betonline.eu. But let me tell you how on the money their odds were. Their odds were fantastic. Drew McIntyre, who won the Elimination Chamber, minus 2,000. Guess who was number 2 there? Randy Orton, plus 500. There you go. Becky Lynch, the minus 2,000 favorite for the Women's Chamber. She won. Judgment Day, minus 2,000 over Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate. Another winner. Rhea Ripley, minus 5,000 over Nia Jax. There you go. They also had Bobby Lashley at the bottom of the odds, which was right on the money as well. Check them out at BetOnline AG or betonline.eu. Wonderful partners. I love doing business with them. I love working with them. I love going over there and putting some bets down. One of my favorite things was when we started this partnership, I had been banging the drum of Samoa Joe winning the AEW World Championship. And somebody said, you know what? You convinced me. I put some money down and I paid for my New Year's drinks off of that. You love to see it. You'll love to see it. I'd put money on him again next week too. We'll tell you more about that. But thank you to BetOnline EU. Robzilla says that Perth audience was really in for Tiffany. They were chanting BS when she got eliminated. They certainly, that you certainly could have, or you certainly could. It was a great reaction though. I loved it. Kim says you could tell Raquel was having a flare up because no makeup. That's what my wife said too. And I hate that. I want to say this: when Raquel came in and she was smiling and happy, people were like, "That doesn't suit her. That doesn't fit her." I was like, "All right, y'all don't know Raquel then," because I've done media with Raquel a bunch of times. That's Raquel. Raquel is one of the sweetest, nicest, most pleasant people that you will ever interact with. Every time you do an interview with Raquel Rodriguez, she acts like it's her first interview of the day. She treats you like she is very happy to be there, whether she is or not. Just an incredibly pleasant human being in every interaction that I have had with her. Oh, also another thing that I liked is how they had the 2K ratings over the pods. That was very cool. JM Miligrito says, I agree with the production. Hope Def Rebel is next. Def Rebel sucks, bro. Sucks. I'll tell you what didn't suck. Judgment Day defeating Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. So, Tyler Bate has been called up for how long now? Let me look even. Tyler Bate called up. I'm a news writer. I should know this. January 5th. Less than 2 months. He has not spent an entire the entirety of a calendar month there yet. And they had him challenging some of the most featured performers in wrestling on the PLE. And it was a brilliant idea. Go back and look at John Cena getting a world title shot on pay-per-view early on. He ended up fine. To be clear, this isn't like him coming right out of developmental. He has been one of the top wrestlers on the planet for a very long time. So not exactly the same, but and the platforms aren't even the same because he's been on NXT TV. You could argue that NXT UK wasn't that exposed, but what you did here was you put him and the rechristened Pete Dunne in the ring with two of the most over and featured talent in wrestling in Finn Balor and Damian Priest. Also, Dominic getting booted was such an elementary, easy, smart, get a big reaction type of thing. This was neck and neck with the women's chamber match for me. It was fantastic. And I looked at the men's chamber match and this match, and I'm like, ooh, that is such a good contrast. Because in the men's chamber match, you have Kevin Owens, a bigger dude, but he still bumps his ass off. Drew McIntyre, bigger dude, still bumps his ass off, of course. But you got LA Knight, does some athletic stuff. Bobby Lashley getting a little bit older. Randy Orton getting a little bit older. Even AJ Styles getting a little bit older involved there. You need a big, stark contrast to that. You need a Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne. Some smaller, more fluid wrestlers who can do a little bit of everything, because one day they're going to need to work with the Lashleys, with the Ortons, with the LA Knights of the world, and do what they did here, which is to put on a match that is completely different from everything else on this show. Finn Balor sold his ass off here, sold those fingers afterwards to the point where I had people going, hey, is he okay? Is he all right? But it was such a fun match. I love the name, the Birminghammer. Incredible. I like that Judgment Day got a relatively clean victory. Like, once Dominic was out, they got a pretty clean victory, and I look to them to go to WrestleMania and probably lose that to R-Truth. And I hope John Cena filling in for an attacked Miz. I'm hoping that Miz and R-Truth are set for it. Miz gets taken out, and Judgment Day said, you know what? Have anybody fill in for him you want. Have anybody fill in for him you want. And then John Cena is R-Truth's partner because of John Cena being his childhood favorite. But I like this. I thought this was what that show needed right there. Tamel says Liv recent tour is not doing good. Her focus is off. She eliminated Jade but missed Bailey. She pinned Bianca but missed Becky. Fair. That's a nice assessment there. That is a very, very good assessment. And I hope it's something that they roll into the story and make that a part of it. Watch me, you don't even watch yourself type of thing. I think that could be good. It could be a nice, different approach. Sean, will there be an Elimination Chamber post show? It's from our friend Sabrina. Sabrina, now, where are you? See, Sabrina, you were here already. What are we doing? Sabrina, will there be an Elimination Chamber post show? You're on it, my friend. Great to see you. We love seeing you here, Sabrina. Nelson says, Sean, I'm a massive WWE hater, but hearing this show had a 55-minute break between matches gave me a soft peen, and I need Blue Chew badly so it doesn't start to shrink if I keep hearing WWE is committing wrestling crimes. Well, where are we? Here you go. You know, Fightful and Blue Chew have been at it a long time. Maybe you've been at it a long time. Maybe you're lacking that motivation. Maybe you're lacking that confidence. You don't think you have what you once had. Blue Chew is here to get you there. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. You'll get your first shipment free. Of what? Well, it's a chewable tablet that has the same ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so it gets your performance ready to go. It's prescribed online. It ships straight to your door. You do an online consultation, and if approved, you'll be back to that main event level performance. Sometimes it's not even about performance. It's about that confidence. And Blue Chew is going to make sure that you have that. Blue Chew and the code FIGHTFUL. Your first shipment free. You just pay $5 shipping. What is there to lose? BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. I don't know if there was a 55-minute break because I did not watch it in that way. I fast forwarded through any breaks. Oh, man. Austin Theory's out there doing a bad stand-up routine. He brings out Grayson Waller, who is over. Grayson played like a pseudo baby face this week, as he should. He did a shoey with Tai Tuivasa. For those of you who don't know, I don't know if this was necessarily an intentional UFC integration, but Tai Tuivasa has been a UFC fighter since 2017, since back when we did the Holy Smokes podcast with Showdown Joe. He's been on a pretty significant losing streak. He's been knocked out or submitted 3 straight times, but you know, guy's got like 8 UFC wins, so he's big in that area. They bring out Seth and Cody and just basic healing, and it looked like Cody was about to explain why he was stepping aside for The Rock, and then Grayson Waller and Austin Theory prevented it. Now, my idea of how they could do Bronson Reed in this spot, some people will hate it, some people would have liked it, but all things considered, it's probably good that they didn't. Seth wasn't cleared. He actually said he was a few days from getting cleared, though. But with him saying that, I thought it would have been cool if Waller and Theory sort of poked the bear a little bit and said, okay, let's have a match right now. And Cody said, okay, but Seth can't wrestle. I've got somebody who can. And there's Bronson Reed, and they just squash Theory and Waller. Cody in his full suit. You know, I think that could have been a lot of fun. And Reed would have gotten cheered big time. Waller could have just took a hike, you know. But all things considered, probably good it happened the way that it did. Cody, however, steps up and challenges The Rock to a one-on-one match. He said, I've got Roman Reigns at Mania, but until then, I'm wide open. Until then, hold on. Let me look at WWE Raw tickets on Ticketmaster here. Hold on here, Cody Rhodes. When you gonna do this match, Cody Rhodes? In San Jose, California. You gonna do it at Rosemont at the Allstate Arena? That could be a good one. Didn't they host WrestleMania one time? Maybe. Let's do it in Raleigh, North Carolina, on March 18th. They got the Houston Toyota Center. That's a big one. Nobody wants to do anything in San Antonio. Rock ain't going to San Antonio. That's for damn sure. But Seth said, you know what? It's never one-on-one. I got your back. They really should do the tag match night one. I had been against them working 2 nights, but now I'm just like, yeah. Fans were chanting Cody sucks. Buddy, where are your ears? Listen, okay. Possibly. You know what else they did? Cody said, do we have any Cody crybabies here? And the fans cheered. He's taking it back. Taking it back. I like it. This is a fine segment. It's good. I also like that Cody sort of took. Yeah, somebody said they were chanting Rocky sucks. There was somebody with a die Rocky die sign there. I don't agree with that, but also Sabrina says, guys, I'm sorry I asked a stupid question. I'm so sorry. No, we love you here, Sabrina. I always welcome your super chats, humper chats. You're incredible. But, like, listen, The Rock and his promos are going to resonate with who they resonate with. It's going to be people that like the, oh, you're dumb type of stuff, because that's what they grew up on and that's what they like. There are elements of that I enjoyed. Oh, she meant press conference. No, there's no press conference afterwards. But The Rock's modern day promos, I feel like, can be good too. I feel like he should probably run them by somebody, like run them by Heyman, run them by even Rollins and Cody, and say, how do you think this plays today? Because The Rock is still one of the greatest promos on earth, but there are some elements of it that he's gotten some shit for because it just doesn't hit the way that it used to be. Things that he considered insults aren't insults anymore. Calling Seth Rollins Cody's girlfriend isn't really an insult. I mean, like, what are we going to do next? Say, oh, yes, Seth, but you have a very successful wife while you have this world championship belt around your waist. I think that Cody and Seth are going to do just fine on the promo end of things against The Rock. And I think The Rock's audience is absolutely going to enjoy what he does as well. Elimination Chamber. The Rising implodes. Drew McIntyre, LA Knight. But then not Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens comes in. He does a choke slam, and he did a choke slam, according to Michael Cole, because there was a Make-A-Wish kid who asked for him to do it. I think he should keep doing it. I know Shane Helms does a lot of the producing in his matches, not like all the time, but sometimes. Shane Helms threw a pretty damn good one too. So shout out to Kevin Owens for doing that. Also, guy's looking like he keeps getting in better shape. He looked great in that interview with Anna. But also shout out to LA Knight for taking the damn thing. I tell you what, choke slams aren't fun to take. Not a lot of protection there, and he took it. Logan Paul was drawing on the pod, and he was drawing like a little fat stick figure of Kevin Owens, and Owens just waited on him and beat his ass, locked them both in the chamber and beat him up. It was so good. I'll tell you what's not good. The bulletproof glass. It's not bullet. Like, listen, if you've got a gun that shoots wrestlers out of it, screwed. Not going to be able to get that one through the airport. That's for damn sure. People still go through the pods. Bobby Lashley, Logan Paul went through the pods. This was a very sports entertaining Elimination Chamber, and that's fine because it ended up being a fun match. Logan was the bump guy, and Logan Paul fits in so well here. Such a natural. continues to do this. And you know, putting him on a show like this is a big star to add to a card that didn't have Cody wrestling, didn't have Seth wrestling, didn't have Roman at all, didn't have The Rock, didn't have CM Punk, didn't have another women's world title match, didn't have any men's world title match, and didn't have Bronson Reed on it. And here we are after 10 matches. Logan Paul is in an Elimination Chamber and looks every bit the part. Every bit the part. And since he's won that United States title, he has wrestled Kevin Owens, Miz, and then in this Elimination Chamber. Let me see the last time, or how many times Roman Reigns has wrestled since Crown Jewel. One time. All righty then. Okay. Well, we got AJ Styles popping up after Bobby Lashley interfered. Pardon me, guys. Seasonal allergies messing me up. AJ Styles flew all the way around the country, or all the way around the world. All the way around the country wouldn't have been as crazy. He sat on a 2-day flight to go in there and just beat up LA Knight with a chair. What? Okay, so it was originally supposed to be like LA Knight and Logan Paul at Mania. Logan Paul did a little thing with Randy Orton. Maybe they integrate all of them into it. I doubt it. They've already kind of done that. But like AJ spent $2,000 to beat up LA with a chair. Okay. Cool, man. What if LA would have got eliminated first? What would he have done? Like, yeah, Zach says hater of the year getting more candidates like Christian and Drew McIntyre. This is totally going to be an award in the 2023 Fightful Awards. The player hater of the year award. I can't wait for it. Oh, that is a Fightful original award that I am so excited to do. Right now, you got Christian giving the address of a cemetery in a Daniel Garcia promo. You've got Drew McIntyre, relentless, saying that he prayed for CM Punk to get injured. And then you've got AJ Styles flying around the world to just attack LA Knight. 3 in just the first, in the last 4 or 5 weeks. Incredible. By the way, I will get the Seth and Cody super chats and humper chats. I missed those. Any concern for Randy's back? He was working his ass off, doing it from the beginning. So pull back the curtain a little bit. When wrestlers sell, a lot of times they'll take the bump and then they'll pop up and they'll start selling on to their shoulder, to the ropes, anything like that. There's a reason for that. If I'm a pro wrestler and you bump and then you sell and you land flat on your back, well, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to pin you. Or probably pin you, also maybe put you in a submission. Why is that? Because psychologically, the entire point of the wrestling match is to get you in the position you're in now. Shoulders flat on the mat. Randy is always about that. Randy is so smart in the ring, second nature. But as he starts to sell throughout the match, he'll land on his back and he just stays there. And it looks a little bit weird to the trained wrestling eye. And I don't mean like a trained wrestler's eye. I mean you. I mean you, the fan, that are used to watching somebody bump and then pop up, show their face to the crowd, work to the ropes, convey that way. Randy laid there and he acted like a lot of people who aren't worried about getting their shoulders pinned on the mat, because at that point, Randy Orton in his mind is thinking spinal surgery not, am I going to get pinned in this match? Brilliant selling from Randy Orton. I thought LA Knight got protected with the way that he was eliminated as well. Very good. Very good. Drew ends up winning. KE775 says, assuming Drew's negotiations will come into play for his Mania match, assuming he's staying, considering how well he's been booked and how they've been setting him up for things in the future. Yeah, and I can tell you that they want to continue to work together. FightfulSelect.com, best $5 in the business, reported that. They do want to do business together. I would imagine Drew has probably been pretty happy with how he's been booked. The thing is, with Survivor Series, there was some legitimate frustration with how that was handled up until that situation where they weren't exactly honest to him about what was happening. And since then, they have done right by him. They have done right by Drew McIntyre and how he has been booked. He had a day one world title match in something that is that was a big situation. That was a big spot to be in. And of course, he didn't win it, but that's okay. He's been working live events and world title matches. He beat Damian Priest, who holds Money in the Bank. He was one of 3 people that WWE had images made up for if they won the Royal Rumble, because they wanted to throw some people off, him, Punk, and Cody. So they very clearly thought a lot of him there. He beats Sami Zayn on Raw. He beats AJ Styles in a qualifier. It was by DQ, but he ends up beating LA Knight. He beats Cody Rhodes, and then he wins the Elimination Chamber match. That is a psychotic push. And I don't think he's ever been better than he is right now. Will says, first Hangman, Finn, and Randy, can they please stop being good at selling? They're very good at selling. I get told they're very good at their jobs an awful lot. Safe to say that Drew has or will re-sign with WWE. I'd be shocked if he didn't re-sign with WWE. He's so good at what he's doing, man. What's up, Sean? Will Rock Cody actually happen? I think Rock, Roman, Cody, Seth will happen. I think that's the way that went, or the way it was hinted. Because listen, is Cody appreciative of Seth Rollins within the context of this story? Yes, but that is still the man that he faced 3 times. That's still the man that took a kendo stick to his torn shoulder. Torn pec. Can really see Seth flipping on Cody and truly being his shield, pun intended. I think that Seth is his own man, and I don't think you have to integrate him with that. To me, I think the stories moving forward are, yes, Seth did have the Workhorse Championship, and he had it for 10, 11 months. I think the story is Cody finished his story. Now it's time to see what follows. And I think the story is, here comes the disintegration of the bloodline. You go Roman, Jimmy next. You go Roman, Solo later. You better rack up some wins for Solo, by the way. You do Rock, Roman. That's a year's worth of programs right there. You fit something else in there. Because let's see how many Roman Reigns matches were there last year. As I go back and look. Yeah, I mean, he didn't work a ton last year. He had, after WrestleMania, he had Night of Champions. So if he had a May or June date, well, you can do him and Jimmy. SummerSlam could be, if they wanted to go him and Rock there, they could, but I think that's a Mania match. But you could go him and you could even do a rematch for the title there. But you could do him and Solo at some point. And then fit a couple other matches in there. And then the big one is The Rock. Even though Cody challenged The Rock to a singles match, you think it'll be a tag match? I do. Does Cody leave Mania weekend beating both Rock and Roman? That I don't know. I kind of feel like Roman could even pin Cody the night before. You know what I mean? I could see that. Get your super chats. Get your humper chats in. We've reached the Main event of this show. New Lac City says, SRS pros. Everyone worked hard. Crowd was into everything. Rhea looked like a star. Khan's most predictable card in a long time. I mean, if the Bet Online AG lines are any indication, no surprises. Waller effect was a waste of time. I disagree with that, New Lac City, because Cody was about to mention his motivation. So at least you got the tease that they're talking about that. That is a bit of a cliffhanger for me. Seth Rollins said that he was cleared. You had Cody challenge The Rock, and the tag team match hinted. And you had Austin Theory impersonate The Rock. And as he screams, smell, he gets thrown into a turnbuckle and he goes, smell. It was pretty good shit. I liked it. I liked it a lot. He says, overall, I'm happy I did not wake up at 5 a.m. to watch live. Well, me too, but I probably wouldn't have been upset by it or anything. Will says, got to say, I've never been a Nia fan, but I'm proud of how much better she's gotten. Her second run is what we wanted Ronda's second run to be. Yeah, she is the anti-Rhea. Rhea had her best, or Ronda rather. Ronda had her best run first, worst run second, and now Nia's the opposite. Nia was pretty reckless that first go around, and now she is having a really, really good run. And I mean, you wonder, have they already gotten their use their return on her? Well, for sure. She has beaten Becky in a match that was promoted for day one in an important match. I'm sure she'll put Becky over on the road to WrestleMania, but she's main eventing against Rhea Ripley. Match was solid too. Nia's boots ruled. The 2K team is probably just scrambling to add a torture rack and a beautiful half crab, with the knee in the back as well. And all that, the stretch muffler, the half crab, the torture rack was really good. What they had to do for Rhea was the Undertaker method. It's hard to book anybody against the Undertaker and make him look like the underdog, right? And that's what they had to do. They had to do that. They had to get somebody like Mankind or Yokozuna or King Mabel or Giant Gonzalez. They had to get somebody that made Rhea look not physically imposing. And that's what they did here. The power bombs, Rhea is so good at helping out. Like I've seen people throw those double power bombs, and you can tell when somebody sits up or somebody grabs the wrist of the person doing the power bombs. They even had Spike Dudley doing those back in the day with Brock. Brock didn't need that. Rhea made those look so natural for Nia. They really, really helped out. Also, a spot that longtime viewers of this show will know that I hate, the Del Rio stomp. And let me tell you why I hate it. Del Rio would always have some usually pretty agile guy on the top rope. Agile guy would get knocked back and get hung up, and then he would hold himself up and be doing this. I once saw an opponent sit there on the ropes waiting for Bandito to run across the ring, get on the apron, and do a springboard 450. But what Nia did was Nia went into a situation in which she wasn't familiar with within the sake of this story, and she got hung up there. And you would look at that and say, well, she never really goes up there besides a bonsai drop, and she never falls off. So of course it's going to take her a little time. But Rhea didn't go up to the top rope and make Nia sit there like this. No, Rhea just pulled herself up over and then stomped her. Makes so much more sense. And you make your opponent look less bad, make yourself look smarter. Good shit, pal. Oh, man, I'll tell you, a spot near and dear to my heart, one that I used when I wrestled. I did it to Shaza even, the electric snake eyes. So I would often wrestle in, honestly, New Japan style rings when I did indie stuff. And the corners are a lot softer than the ring surface. So you would work out of the corners an awful lot because you have those boxing style pads. And I would do an electric chair into a snake eyes in the corner, Love that spot for Rhea because you're able to carry that weight on your shoulders very easily. She did it. Looked incredible. Also easy for your opponent because your opponent can take that and sort of land on their feet, then bump off of it. So it looks really bad because first off, it's elevated. People go, ooh, they hit on the turnbuckle. That's impact one. They hit again off of the bump. Then they can roll out of the ring, do whatever it is they want to do. Really good spot there that I'm a big fan of. Rhea using the Dominic splash was so good. So good. And a couple other spots I want to talk about. The Samoan drop onto the table that didn't break the table. Nia Jax is a nut for... She got on that office chair. Listen, we've all done it. We've all stood on top of an office chair and watched that thing go underneath our shaky legs. And she jumped off of it, which, by the way, was lower than the table itself. But I saw that and I was like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Like, that was more high risk. That was more high risk than doing a top rope move because that office chair was insane. Oh, Jesus Christ. Also, happy birthday to Corey Graves. Superplex setup. Beautiful. Great spot. Then into the Riptide. Rhea wins. A fine match. A fine main event for this show. A great moment for Rhea. You love to see it. Oh man, that office chair spot. Man, that takes balls to do that. Thoughts on Malachi finally getting a singles match? Good for him. I hope it's a good. If it's against who? Brian Keith, it'll be a good one. I think that Malachi is such a talented performer. I think that almost everywhere that has had him could have used him better, but you never know what goes on. Ali Khan says, overall, a decent show. However, there was only 1 hour and 50 minutes on a 4 hour, 30-minute wrestling show, including the pre-show. Too much lag time for me. So let me say this. It got started at, let me see, Perth time right now. Yeah, man. This thing started at 5 a.m. local time. So it was 6 p.m. or 5 a.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. local time. They couldn't have started the main show at 8 in Perth. Now, maybe if I'm assuming Adelaide and Melbourne and all that stuff are a few hours ahead. So maybe that's why. So people could watch it on time. Melbourne, Adelaide, all that. Just condense the downtime. We could have started it later and people around the globe could have seen it at a better time. But I'm not here to really complain about that because we're spoiled here in the States with that. And also, for people in the UK saying, well, we got to be up early in the morning. Well, they wouldn't say it like that. We've got to be up early in the morning. I don't care. I love it when you guys get shows over there because I get to watch them at 3 p.m. That's what I would love to do. So put all the damn shows over in the UK for all I care. But Australia, woo, that time is rough. But bless everybody that did it. If Punk can get healthy by SummerSlam, could be him and Drew at SummerSlam, then Punk and Seth at Mania. Hopefully Punk stays healthy. Oh, by then I want Punk and Austin at Mania. Last one. Guys, check out all the interviews Anna did here on YouTube. Please subscribe to our audio platforms. I know a lot of you are like, what? What the hell? You got audio platforms? Yeah, all of them. Apple, all that good stuff. Specifically Apple. If you guys could do us a great favor, go over there and leave us a nice 5-star review. Some trolls have shown up there in the past and knocked our review down. So if you leave us a nice 5-star review, I would greatly appreciate it. Until next time, guys, we're out.